Hello there, I'm Dark Shades. Welcome to my channel. Thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't, subscribe, share. But today I wanted to talk about why good-looking women and good-looking men are left on the shelf. Nobody wants them, usually. Somebody asked me that question. Could I do a video on why, people who are beautiful or good-looking can't find a man or can't find a woman? And I think, basically, there's an assumption that when you look good, they think you're too nice. She thinks that she's too nice. They've just taken a look at the person, made the assumption that either he or she is high maintenance, he or she can get plenty of women, and he or she is not going to be loving or caring. So they make up all these assumptions about good-looking people. And I don't know why that is. And as a result, sometimes you even say, oh, I wouldn't talk to him. He's too good looking. Or, like I said with the woman, she's too nice. She thinks that she's nice. And what is wrong with people thinking that they're nice anyway? You get ugly people thinking that they're nice and nobody says anything. They're actually applauded for thinking that they're nice. But a good-looking woman, God forbid, if she was to have a slightest little bit of attitude, they always have to play themselves down. So, in answer to that woman's question, if you're good-looking and you're on your own, the insecurity is on the other person's part. It shouldn't be on your part. You shouldn't have to lower your standard or make yourself look frumpy or make yourself look less desirable just because somebody is afraid to approach you. But then you might say, but I'm going to be on my own. To be honest, if you're good looking, you can't make yourself ugly. No way you can make yourself look ugly. Even if you don't even have, maybe if you don't want to wear makeup, but is that who you are? So if you don't wear makeup and you decide that, oh, you're going to put on some frumpy jumper and you just think, well, you're not going to wear an earring, you're just going to look ordinary. Do you think it's going to make a difference? I don't know. I think men can get just as much a hard time from good-looking women as they can get from not so good-looking women. So I don't know what the big deal is. For some reason they think and I think it's a cop-out. I think if they have a good-looking woman, number one, they can't be complacent. They have to keep on their toes. They can't just leave their woman at home and think everything is okay. They'll have to start check up on her. If they go out with her, they have to be looking around to see who's looking at her. And I think it's their insecurity. I think that they think that, it's too much hard work. I don't think it's got anything to do with the woman thinks that she's too nice. I think it's because they don't want to put in the legwork. And if a woman is good looking, they're going to have to put in the legwork. They're going to have to more or less step up to the plate. And it's the way they should step up to the plate regardless of how the woman looks or regardless of how the men look. I think with women and good looking men, I think they probably think, oh God, he's so good looking. All the women are going to be looking at him. And I think the same is for the men. They think that if they've got a good looking woman, everybody's going to be looking at her and everybody's going to want her and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes it might even be the case, but don't they have faith enough in themselves to believe that that woman only has eyes for them or that man only has eyes for her? Just because you're good looking doesn't mean that you come out of space or something. Doesn't mean that you don't have a heart or feelings. And yet a lot of good looking people are left on the shelf because people just cannot be bothered. And like I said, I really believe it's because men just don't want to have to worry about anything. When they leave their yard, they just want to go to work and nobody think about, oh, I wonder if anybody I talk to. I wonder if she's gone up on the street. I wonder if anybody I look at her. That's their insecurity. And it'd be the same with women when their men goes out and, you know, somebody sent me this picture of this gorgeous looking man, absolutely gorgeous. And the subtitle was, would you give him to your grandmother or your great grandmother or something like that. Anyway, the guy had some grey. He's a silver fox, but he wasn't old. He didn't look old. He just had some grey. But he was absolutely gorgeous. So she wrote to me and said, "Oh, what did you think?" And I thought he was bloody gorgeous. And she said, "Yeah, I think he's gorgeous as well." And then I forget what she said, but I said to her, "Oh, I wouldn't want to let him out of my sight." And she said, "But that's control." But I think that's the same thing. I think if I had a bloke that looked like that, I'd be on tenterhooks. I'd be thinking, bloody hell, you know, everybody's going to want him. You know what I mean? I'm not going to even, and I don't think my self-esteem would be that high. I think I'd be thinking, bloody hell, you know, what's it, you know, not really what's he doing with me, but you kind of have that kind of, well, not everybody would have that, but I think there's something inside you when you've got somebody, and I'm not just talking somebody who's good looking, I'm talking about somebody who's really good looking. But then you could argue what's good looking for one person isn't good looking for another person. And maybe that individual, regardless of how he looks, is very loyal. He's very focused. He just goes to work. He just comes home. He only has eyes for you. But that is your insecurities. And I think it's the same with men and their insecurities. They don't want to have to think, oh, when my woman goes out of the house, if anybody's looking at her, if anybody's going to sweep her away. So I think it's the same on both sides. And I think that is the reason why no one wants to approach a good-looking woman and no one wants to approach a good-looking man, because they just don't want the headache of worrying about who's trying to take her from him. And the funny thing is that if you don't want a good-looking woman, why would you think that somebody else might take her away? It kind of is a bit paradoxical, isn't it? Because if a woman is single because she's too good-looking, or a man is single because he's too good-looking, then technically you should feel safe, because people outside are not going to approach her because, number one, they think she's too nice, or they think, you know, she's too much hassle. And the same with the man. So you shouldn't really have to worry. But the thing is that if you have somebody good looking and they're actually nice people, that's a double thing, because what happens is that you're going to be thinking, bloody hell, not only is good looking, but he's really nice. So somebody might be put off of his good looks. And then when they start talking to him and they find out that he's a really nice person, you know, in other words, he's not arrogant, he's friendly, he's warm, he's sociable, you know, he can have a good conversation, then they're going to start thinking, oh, bloody hell, he's good. He's not only good looking, but he's nice. And the same with the men. When they have a good looking woman and she's also nice, and, you know, she's not the type that, she's the type that might talk to people, she's not going to diss them or disrespect them, they're going to think the same thing. So I think in doing this video, kind of answered the question. That, yeah, it is just basic insecurity. It's just the feeling that somebody else is going to take them away. It's really, you're telling yourself that you're not good enough for that person. And I think I did say that. It was a Freudian slip earlier, but I think that's what I said. Am I good enough for that person? So you go for somebody who's more or less, you know, okay, but not too good looking. And I hope I answered the question. That's all for now. Bye-bye.